Daggerfall! Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Daggerfall, part 3, I think? Not 100% sure how I'm going to edit this together, but wow, this music is loud and annoying. Hang on. There we go. So we've just escaped from the first dungeon, and we're going to make our way to the starter town. One thing I want to point out, though, before we do, is that there's a very, very insignificant bug in the game where the moment that you get out of the dungeon, the game thinks you're pointed north, but if I try to move forward here, I start moving backwards. And that's because the game wants to move us north, but we are in fact facing south, which you can see if I just turn slightly. Bam! The compass jolts over down to roughly the south, almost. So, one thing I'll note before we finish up here is that the wilderness in Daggerfall, much like in Arena, is randomly generated. Now that shift in music is because we just moved out of the range of the dungeon, quote-unquote, area and into the wilderness. Now we're going to be moving south to get to the first town, which I believe is called, I actually can't remember now. But instead of just walking there, we're going to do fast travel. This is your fast travel screen. The flashing region over here is Daggerfall. That's the region that we are currently in. But we can click on any of these other regions here to fast travel to a different location. We're not going to do that. We're going to go to Daggerfall, and you can see it shows us where we are again with that big flashing thing, and you can actually do I'm at to find your location again if you have to. Now we're going to right-click on that general area, and now we are just here. We just got out of Privateer's Hold, and we are going to Gothway Garden. Now, normally I would walk, but we're not going to do that on this particular occasion because I am recording, and that would take just too much screen time. Welcome to Gothway Garden, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, I'm getting some lag here. There we go, that's better. Probably just had to load up for a second there. The game is acting more buggy and laggy than it normally would, but I don't know what's up with that. So this is the Mages Guild. You can tell because of the distinctive mossy stone architecture and also because of the creepy eye sign right there. We're not going to go there quite yet. So if I press M to open up my auto map, you can see a color-coded list of areas, not a list, a color-coded map of the area. So the green, he says green as he points at blue. I graduated from kindergarten, ladies and gentlemen. The blue here are guilds, so I just showed you the Mages Guild right up there. This is a temple. Temples, of course, are guilds. The only guilds that you won't see highlighted on the map are Thieves Guilds and I believe the Dark Brotherhood. So watch out for those. The process for getting into the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood is actually quite complicated. It involves jumping through some hoops, unlike in future games where you basically just walk up to the guy and go, I would like to join the Thieves Guild, and they just take you on without asking. That's a rant for a different time. So green, as you can see on the key, are taverns, and if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see some orange shops down there. And the shops are where I want to go immediately because I got some crap to sell. Now, the towns are not randomly generated. Well, I mean, they technically are. They use a random number generator to build them, but they're the same every time you go. Now, I'm going to enter this store to demonstrate something real quick. So you can see that when I click to enter the store, it says the shop is laid out in a practical and straightforward manner. All the items seem to be of adequate construction. And then I enter the store. We're not going to actually shop in this store. We're going to exit, and I'm going to go into a different store. Incense and soft music soothe your nerves as you cross the threshold. Each item in this shop is carefully mounted and displayed. Not the slightest defect can be detected in any item within. And I've probably popped and clicked all the time while I said that, but we are not going to shop here either. Instead, we are going to go south to this crummy little store right here, which I know for a fact because I've checked multiple times, is the absolute crappiest store in all of Gothway Garden. The absolute shittiest. And why are we going down here? Because, believe it or not, that tiny little crappy shop, which doesn't even have the same texture as the other shops, will give us the best prices as we sell. Obviously, the items that we buy from them will be the cheapest, but for some reason, they will also have the best prices when selling. So, weird how that works. Maybe they're implying that the people who run the crappy shops aren't as good at bargaining, but yeah, just rusty relics lie wherever they were last tossed. All the wares show the cracks and chips of shoddy workmanship. A mouse scampers across over your feet before burrowing into a nearby sack. This place is run down, crappy. The shopkeeper probably spits in half the shit that he sells, but they are going to give us the best prices that we can get. So we're going to sell some loot here. I'm definitely selling all the iron weapons, because they're just not worth that much. I'm also going to sell the big weapons. And, ooh, actually, no, we'll keep the axe, again, for breaking down doors. And then, let's see, is there anything else ooh, he'll buy this, but I want to keep that because I want to identify it later. So, now, the ingredients, you notice, aren't popping up here. That's because he doesn't buy those items. So we don't even have the option of checking to see if he'll buy them. So he'll give us 780 gold. It's actually not a bad haul for the first dungeon. I've had better, but, you know, not bad. So we're going to click on here, and let's see. I'm definitely going to buy a cart. I'm going to not buy a horse. Not just yet, anyway. Let's see. Ooh, he has bows. So he has a short bow there. I'm going to hold off on buying that for just a second in case I can find a better one. Oh wow, a steel katana. I've already got plenty of those, though. And... wait, what? Why are you looking at me? Why, yes, horses are on the store shelves. Why? Where do you keep your horse? In the stable? Nah. You have to leave them on the shelves at the general store. Alright. I am actually... so... I have the luxury where I've got a little bit of extra cash here. I'm going to buy some better pants. You know, just... those look moderately better, right? And, no. Just the pants. Ah! No. I forgot, there's nudity in this game. That wasn't a lot of nudity. It's sort of like, you know, it's just like a little Ken hump, but it's detailed enough that I would be a little bit worried about getting demonetized. So now I get to put a censor bar over that. Great. What about this shirt? Ugh, no. I'm definitely not going to buy a thong. Actually, you know what? Sure, why not? It makes us look like a pirate. And I think anyone who's watched my Arena Let's Plays will know I love looking like a pirate. Alright, I'm going to buy the... whoop. Now, why did that... oh! I accidentally bought... I clicked on these armbands. I didn't want to buy those, but I clicked on them by accident. They immediately... see that? This irritates me, the fact that... I guess they do this so that you can check out how your character will look and get in clothing as you buy it, but it really irritates me that, like, anytime you try to buy something, it just immediately goes into your hands. Or not even when you try to buy it, when you just select it in the store. Whatever, though. So I got my short bow. And is there anything else here? How does he look? No. Sorry, that's just not his style. I saw a pair of boots that I wanted. Or should I save? Nah, we'll save boots for when we get armor. I could go shopping around for armor. Actually, that doesn't look so bad. Nah, we'll keep it like this. Alright. Alright, so this done, we have a little extra cash. Instead of buying armor like a smart person, I'm gonna go identify those items we found in the dungeon. So that's gonna require... actually, you can actually ride your cart, and I'm gonna do that because it's actually slightly faster. The only problem with the cart is, well, number one, that sound that it makes. It's a little bit more annoying than, and by... yes. Okay, so I should address this. We did not buy a horse, but if you ride the cart, the horse just kind of appears. It's the most ridiculous thing. Now, there is a reason why you would choose horse instead of cart, and a reason why you would buy a horse is that the horse is faster than the cart, even if you also have a cart. I know that makes no sense when I say that, but I swear it is completely true. Anyway, so the other problem with the carts, and indeed the horse, is that if you just hold still for a little bit, I'm not touching my controls, the horse will just randomly start neighing constantly. There it is. And, like, if you have a conversation with, like, an NPC, for example, like, let's just say that I go over to this... Like, the horse just won't shut up for some reason. I have no idea why it does that. It's gotta be a bug, right? But that's just a thing to keep a lookout for. And I should have saved before we started selling all of our loot. But I'm gonna save now. And we're gonna go in here. Oh, damn it. They're closed. Alright, so I'm gonna go into info mode and right-click on the door. They're open from 11 o'clock to 2300, which is, of course, 11 p.m. What time is it now? It is 9:13. So I'm gonna go into my rest menu. I'm gonna loiter for about 2 hours. That'll bring it up to 11 o'clock, and the Mage's Guild will be open. Alright, now where's the... I think that to identify stuff, we just go in here. See, the Mage's Guild is super irritating because it's... The layout changes depending on which Mage's Guild you're going to specifically, and it can be really difficult to find stuff sometimes, but I believe that this lady does identifying. Oh. Not steal mode, oh my god, no, grab mode. Let's do that. Identify. So, that completely invisible prompt up there said to select magic items to identify. We're going to select these two. They're not particularly expensive, so they must not be very good, but we're going to identify them anyway. So, this turns out to be an Elven Mace of Life Stealing. Vampiric effect when strikes. The vampiric effect basically just means, you know, exactly what you would think. It saps the life out of the enemy and gives it to you instead. So what about this one? Oh wow, Iron Boots of Water Walking. Cast when held, that means when it's equipped, water walking. That is super useful. I'm actually not going to wear them because magic items do wear out over time. And I'm not aware... you can get them repaired, but only if you activate a cheat mode by changing a configuration file. I believe this guy does training, but only for guild members. So... we could... Let's buy a healing spell while we're here. Because we basically have no reason not to. It won't leave us with a lot of cash, but we should have a healing spell. Alright, so... Alright, so Balina's Balm. You can see it says heal health right there. And when you say heal health, as opposed to what? That's as opposed to, I believe the other options are fatigue or... I think there's technically a heal magic effect, but as you can imagine, that's not going to be for most spells, because that wouldn't make any sense. So I'm just going to consult the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages. Oh, it doesn't tell you how much better healing is. The heal spell is than Balina's Balm. I'm assuming that it's much better. It's actually not that much more expensive. Yeah, 545 gold pieces. I have a decent amount of gold, so I can afford that. I'm going to go ahead and buy it anyway. I'm actually going to buy both, because like I said, Balina's Balm is which button? Nope, that's the wrong button. Oh god, I fucked everything up. Oh shit. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Oh. I have never had that happen in my life before. I have no idea what happened there. Okay. I'm gonna sort that down. Okay, so... Yeah, so Balina's Balm costs 27 magic points. And that's the reason for that is that I have no skill in Restoration. Let me actually check. Restoration. Yeah, 5%. I think that's as low... No. Apparently it can go as low as 3%. I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I have 5% Restoration magic skill. And that's why it costs 100% of the magic that I have. And heal costs 63. Jesus. We're going to have to see if we can get training for Restoration, but I don't know if I can actually join any guilds that train Restoration at this point. But, you know, again, it's good to just have it, because you never know when you're going to... Oh, actually, I think I can buy potions here. Can't I? I can't remember now. Maybe. We'll save that for when we join the temple. But yeah, I've been recording for quite long enough, and I think that's a good enough introduction to Daggerfall. So we're just gonna save Rodney's quest here. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next video. If you liked this video, then please, give it a like, leave a comment letting me know what you think, and share it with your friends. If you hated this video, share it with your enemies. But either way, I will see you next time.